A shiny belt built on swagger just switched shoulders. But did it really change owners? Or is the real champ still waiting in the shadows? Max Holloway walked out of UFC 318 dripping with the BMF gold after a 5-round firefight that sent Dustin Poirier into retirement.
Last title fight for the BMF.
The arena roared, the cameras flashed, and for a split second, the MMA world seemed settled.
A famous point down happened the last 10 seconds again. I mean, you get kind of crazy when you point down.
Then, with 9 casual words, Nate Diaz lit the fuse. This guy cool, but he keeps wearing my belt. Overnight, hashtags exploded, loyalties split, and one simple question carved a fault line through fight fandom. Whose belt is it, really? It all started as pure Diaz bravado. After blitzing Anthony Pettis in 2019, Nate told the world he wanted to scrap with Jorge Masvidal for the baddest M3 title. Yet 18,000 Diamond Poirier strides out to a milli with fellow Louisiana he's promised for months. 5 minutes later, that same rap legend is Max Holloway, the man who just spoiled the party and became the first fighter ever to defend the belt. The trilogy delivered every beat of their 13-year rivalry. Holloway's early knockdowns, Poirier's guillotine gamble, and the trademark point-to-the-canvas slugfest in the closing seconds. When the final horn sounded, Holloway had outlanded Poirier 186-114 in total strikes and swept the judges 49-46, 49-46, 48-47. Poirier peeled off his gloves, laid them in the octagon, and waved to a crowd chanting his name. An unspoken retirement speech captured in tears and cell phone lights. In the stands and online, though, a different conversation brewed. One about another man who once claimed this very strap. Those whispers exploded 24 hours later. 24 hours after the scorecards read 49-46, Nate Diaz pulled out his phone and set the fight world on fire. Within minutes, the post rocketed to the top of X's trending list, eclipsing Hollywood gossip and presidential campaign chatter. Screenshots swarmed Reddit, reaction videos popped up faster than thumbnails could load, and hashtag RealBMF racked up 2 million mentions before breakfast. Fans split straight down the middle. Team Holloway crowed that Max actually defended the strap, something Masvidal never did and Diaz never got to. Team Diaz shot back that a doctor's stoppage isn't a clean loss and that the belt was forged for Nate in the first place. Sports outlets couldn't resist. ESPN pushed a live poll. Who's the real BMF? While YouTube thumbnails screamed, "Belt thief?" in neon red. Holloway, on a red-eye back to Hawaii, responded with a winking shrug gif. Nothing more, nothing less. Fueling the frenzy. Diaz had spoken. The internet had echoed. And suddenly, the fastest-growing fantasy matchup of 2025 was born.
In a real fight, in the real world, that fight's a wrap.
But what makes Diaz feel that black and silver strap is still his to reclaim? The answer runs deeper than one viral post, and it traces back through 2 parallel careers that have circled each other for nearly a decade. Max Holloway and Nate Diaz were forged on opposite coasts, Hawaii surf gyms and Stockton street gyms, but they built eerily similar resumes, endless gas tanks, granite chins, and a love of drawn-out, volume-heavy wars. Holloway owns the single fight record for significant strikes landed, 578 on Calvin Kattar, and he's in the top 10 3 more times. Diaz sits right behind him on the all-time list with his 449-strike firefight against Conor McGregor in 2016. Their styles read like mirror images in different fonts. Holloway drowns foes with rapid-fire combinations.
1 second to go.
Diaz slows them with the infamous Stockton slap before pouring on pressure. Diaz even explained this slap in March, half taunt, half rangefinder.
I believe that I'm the coolest at all these sorry-ass motherfuckers.
Because sometimes it's the only way to make sure I connect. The UFC nearly collided these worlds in 2018 when an injured Holloway left UFC 222 without a headliner. Diaz texted the LA Times he was 100% ready to step in, but Dana White rolled his eyes, literally, and talks died overnight. The near miss only deepened the what-if lore. 2 cardio machines, never a pound overweight in heart, somehow still strangers inside the cage. Since then, each man has ticked legacy boxes on separate paths. Holloway reclaiming his aura after title losses, Diaz riding free agency boxing detours, yet fans keep threading their names together in fantasy polls because deep down the question lingers, whose relentless pace would finally break first? But only one of them is contract-free and roaming the chessboard right now.
Stockton's outlaw hasn't set foot on UFC canvas since tapping Tony Ferguson in 2022, but he never stopped swinging. First came the whirlwind boxing detour, an August 2023 clash with YouTuber-turned-slugger Jake Paul, where Diaz ate a knockdown early, yet still lasted 10 chaotic rounds before dropping a wide decision. He flipped that script on old rival Jorge Masvidal, out-voluming the Miami brawler in Anaheim and snatching a majority decision win, 98-92, 97-93, 95-95. Revenge for the BMF doctor stoppage that has haunted him since 2019. With that score settled, Diaz turned his crosshairs back to the Octagon. In a May 2025 podcast drop, he rattled off a three-man hit list. Conor McGregor for Unfinished Business, Poirier for The Hype, and above all, Max Holloway rocking my belt. Free agency means leverage, and Diaz knows it. He told hosts the BMF strap is the most entertaining shit in the UFC right now.
Negotiations, though, have played out like a Stockton stare-down. He's reportedly declined crossover bouts with KSI and Darren Till, iced talks of a BKFC slugfest, and brushed off at least one UFC offer insiders say landed on his desk in June. Every refusal keeps the mystery alive. Is he protecting his stock or waiting for Dana to sweeten the pot with that BMF headliner? It's been 12 months since his last payday. Diaz is 39, and the fight world keeps asking if the clock is ticking, or if the man who never plays by the rules is simply setting his own. Whatever the truth, every no he drops only cranks up the hunger for one colossal yes. And the man polishing the belt in Hawaii can hear the rumble growing. Back in Hawaii, the Blessed Express is already plotting track changes. A week after he airmailed Poirier into legend, Max Holloway jumped on Instagram Live, held the belt up like a surf trophy, and pitched an idea that popped eyeballs. Why not real BMF rankings? Not just a one-off, a whole list of savages who bang for this strap. Chat flooded with fire emojis. Even Dana White's burner account was rumored to be lurking. Holloway rattled off potential challengers like a DJ spinning requests, Charles Oliveira for a Redemption remix, Ilia Topuria for a clash of unbeaten egos, and, of course, Nate Diaz for the Street King storyline the internet keeps scripting. Then he flashed a grin sharp enough to slice papaya. Anybody, anywhere, any weight. Let's find out who's the real problem. Numbers back his bravado. Since January 2023, Holloway's landed over 1,200 significant strikes across 4 bouts, and he's never been knocked down, not once, in a 15-year career. Sponsors love that stat sheet, matchmakers love that reliability, streaming platforms love the guaranteed highlight reel. He knows it too. When asked by a podcast host if the Diaz call-out felt personal, Holloway laughed. Bro, belts travel, but blessings stay. If he wants it, doors are open. Just wipe your feet. Translation, Stockton can step in, but the house rules are Max's volume, Max's pace, Max's paycheck. Behind the humility lies calculated pressure. A formal BMF ladder means quarterly marquee fights, more eyeballs, and a slice of pay-per-view points that rivals title bouts. Holloway's pitch isn't just bravado, it's business, putting the UFC in a spot where saying no looks like shutting down pure fan service. And every TikTok clip of him sparring in flip-flops or launching charity giveaways spikes the engagement numbers Dana's bean counters track. The War Room in Las Vegas is watching those metrics stack up and crunching scenarios that could make or break the year's pay-per-view calendar. Inside the War Room on Las Vegas Boulevard, matchmakers are staring at heat maps of social media mentions, and the Holloway-Diaz axis is glowing nuclear red. Within hours of that 9-word tweet, fans began tagging Dana White directly, spamming his feed with book it gifs and Stockton slap emojis. Sports blogs tallied more than 2 million #RealBMF posts in 24 hours, eclipsing every other active call-out on the roster. White, ever the metrics hawk, has already dubbed Holloway, quote, in a great position right now.
hinting that any opponent the Hawaiian picks will get fast-tracked, especially if pay-per-view upside looks juicy. On an Instagram reel last week, he grinned, "Max wants big-name violence. Let's see who steps up." Translation: if Diaz signs the dotted line, the UFC won't blink at headlining money. 2 target dates dominate the whiteboard. Madison Square Garden in November 2025, always a blockbuster slot, could mirror Diaz's original BMF showcase, giving the storyline perfect symmetry. Rumblings even have Dan Hooker lobbying for that card in case Holloway pivots, but fan polls keep Diaz at the top. Then there's the wild card, President Trump's proposed South Lawn mega card for America's 250th birthday in July 2026. White called it the baddest card of all time, and insiders say he's eyeing a double headline of Holloway Diaz and John Jones's comeback. The optics of the baddest belt under White House fireworks are almost too on brand to ignore. But negotiations are a 3-way chess match. Diaz's free agency leverage means he can keep raising the price. Holloway's star value means the UFC risks backlash if they stall his momentum, and Dana White must juggle other contender cues. Oliveira hungry for redemption, Topuria begging for a double champ shot, even lightweight dark horse Arman Tsarukyan posting "I'll take that belt tonight" memes. Every delay inflates anticipation, and every new headline feeds the algorithm White's accountants worship. The pieces are set, the clock is ticking, and the next move could rewrite 2 legacies or blow up the UFC's grandest stage yet. So here we are, 1 jet black belt, 2 iron-willed icons, and a fan base split like a cracked mouthpiece. Max Holloway carries the strap that proves pace can be power, while Nate Diaz lurks, convinced a doctor's stoppage never took anything that mattered. Contracts, rankings, and even the whisper of a White House showdown are just chess pieces on a bigger board. Hit the comments and stake your claim. Team Max or Team Nate? Who's the rightful BMF? And where should the showdown happen? If you've got a wildcard pick or a dream venue we haven't thought of, drop it below. Best takes get a shout out in the next video. And if you want every twist in this saga before the dust even settles, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. We're tracking every rumor, contract leak, and locker room whisper. Your voice could tip the scales in the fight game's loudest debate, so make it count. Thanks for watching. See you in the next round.